Hi everyone, welcome back to OP Podcasts. I hope you've had a good week, and we're sorry that we haven't posted a podcast a few days ago. I have been meaning to edit it and put it out, but I've been lazy.
We've been busy.
Not
lazy. We've been quite busy. Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Hope your week's been okay. We are halfway through January. How have you been finding it so far? 2023.
You know what? I'm already over it. Bring on 2024. Screw it. It's just not been a good couple of weeks.
No, it's funny, and it's going to get a bit heavy here, but I feel like we've all got this mindset with our New Year's resolutions fresh in our minds. And reality is, nearly halfway through the first month, are people still keeping up with it? Or they?
I don't think it's even that. I think that you start the new year with all this energy, and you're like, I'm gonna get it, and then life never took a break.
Yeah.
Life's just always there.
Yeah.
And it reminds you very quickly that life is just unfair, and to make it that you've got to really work. And it reminds you that the goals that you set, it's not easy. Although you've been doing it for a week or 2 weeks by now. It's life's like, don't forget you've got to keep doing this for a little while longer than a few weeks if you really want to see the benefits of it.
Yeah, for a little while longer, just hang in there. But I feel it has been quite a shit
Couple of weeks,
and
for us specifically,
but I think for the world as well, because with every year a new bunch of celebs die, and it just starts off with like depression. No, as in we go into the new year, and
Jesus, how heavy did you want to go?
No, just like you're ending the year. It's such a weird feeling in the sense of you feel, okay, this year 2022 has been hard. You've brought your emotions. You've been good. You've been here. You've been there. We're finally ready to enter into 2023 with such excitement, and then first week of like this year is Vivienne Westwood's died, this person's died, that person's died. But I feel like that happens every year, and then that kind of sets the tone for, so 2023 isn't going to be good. I find that really weird. It's such a weird concept.
Well, that 2023 is going to be no different, or like the new year is going to be no different than the last year.
Yes, but this year I am quite determined to actually put an effort into it to make sure it's a good year in the sense of mentally, physically, and in my career-wise. It will be hard, but I'm not wishing for the negativity because I've had enough of it. But I am going to continue to work on myself in the sense of pushing myself to see things from different points of views, and trying to take it a day at a time and trying to be more positive rather than dwelling on the negative.
Yeah, I think that's all that most people can do, to be fair. To be honest, I feel like I need to catch up a little bit. Like mentally, I don't think I'm in the mind space to be like, you know what, I'm going to do this for the rest of the year, I'm going to do that for the rest of the year. Like, I know we've got our wider goals that we talked about before. Go check out that podcast. Shameless plug. But I'm so work focused at the moment. I mean, we talked about it earlier today.
Yeah.
I think for me to be happy about moving to next month, let alone for the rest of the year, did a few calculations, and I've got to do 6 hours worth of overtime every single day, regardless of whether I'm in the office or not. And that's really weighing me down.
Yeah.
So until that's out the way, I won't have the mental capacity to be like, I'm gonna just take it a day at a time when I'm thinking about next weekend and how much I can do before then, basically.
Yeah, there's quite a lot going on, and I think the challenges that we face in life, we can't really stop them from occurring. We can't really prevent them, because you could be in the most perfect financially stable part of your life, and you still have something being thrown at you. It can be the most minor inconvenience thing, and it will just throw you off completely.
Well, it'll be the one thing you don't expect.
Exactly. Whether however major or small it could be, but I've accepted that I can't change that. I can't change that part of the universe, things happening, whether it be good or bad. But what I can change is my perception of, thinking, my way of thinking. So I'm really going to make a conscious effort this year to try not to spend so much energy dwelling on the negativity, or dwelling on the things that didn't go so well, or possibly trying to predict and anticipate situations occurring in negative manners. So that mental effort is there. So guys, have a little think and let us know how you feel as well, how your new year is going so far, halfway through the
first month
of 2023. But I guess for us it's been quite difficult, and hopefully for you guys it's been amazing. But whether it's been great or difficult, try to do the internal work of trying to see it from a different point of view, because I think the world's been through so much negativity that we're just dwelling constantly, hoping something would happen. That thing never happens, but I'm gonna work for.
Well, it's part of human nature to focus on the negative.
Yeah.
You never really hear plenty of people, shout and rave about how good things are.
But we should more often, maybe.
We should.
Maybe.
We should celebrate wins, small wins, big wins, everything in between.
Yeah.
A lot more, but unfortunately, just negativity or negative thoughts, negative news, negative. Comments about people, it gets far more traction than positive things. Somebody could do plenty of work for charity, but I don't know, Kim Kardashian didn't speak out straight away about Balenciaga and had to take a minute, and she got blasted for it.
I think that's a whole different aspect of it.
That's a whole different story.
She should have said something immediately, because the whole campaign was just awful.
It was.
How it got through to being published without
how it got through teams and teams of people without anybody going, you know what, I don't think that's quite right.
Yeah.
But the point is, the negativity surrounding that gained so much traction that everybody knew about it. Even I know about it, and I don't follow any of that.
Neither do I. We don't really follow all of that nonsense. In terms of the Kardashians and the drama and things like that. But back to this thing here, I was on Insta today. By the way, guys, follow us on Instagram. Is
I'll have to double check. Put me on the spot, I forgot.
The OP podcast. Follow us on there. We will put it down below as well. But I saw this thing on Insta today, and what happened? They were talking about you feel what you think. I think you saw me watching that video.
I did. I didn't fully understand it.
What I understood it. And
I might just be being a guy about it, though.
No, you're not being a guy about it. But what she meant by that is, so you feel what you think, in a sense of, say for example, you have an interaction with somebody and you felt that their energy was a bit off, in a sense that you're thinking, oh, I don't think they like me very much. Oh, maybe I was talking a bit too much. And you constantly dwell on the fact that you were talking so fast. And you're like, oh, why did I say that? Why did I say this? And you become anxious because you're constantly, repetitively repeating that scene in your head. The scene that you think is a terrible, you weren't great in that light. You constantly think about it, and then you start to feel down, and you start to criticize yourself, and then you start to really kind of get into the depths of not thinking anything positive. That person could have gone, I liked your shoe, or I like your shirt, but you wouldn't go, oh yeah, and then they complimented my shirt. You could have gone, why did I say that joke? Why did I say it like that? Oh, I must have looked like that. I don't know. I do that to myself sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, everyone does. I mean, there are things that I think about, back from like 12 years old. I'm like, why did I do that?
Exactly.
I don't speak to anyone from when I was 12, but I still I'm like, oh my God, that was so embarrassing.
Just the beaver haircut was embarrassing.
That was a little bit after 12. That was a strong fashion choice. That wasn't getting into your head about social interactions or anything like that.
Right, but that's essentially what I'm trying to say, Just I will work to achieve the positive, try to focus more on the positive, and not in an airy-fairy, la-di-da way, but, in a day. And it is hard, guys. Trust me, I have had a rough week. To give you a taste of it, I've lost my engagement ring. Not my wedding band, my engagement ring. And I took them off together.
The flashy one.
The flashy one.
Yeah.
I've lost it. And 5 years we've been married, as we keep saying in this podcast. And as you can imagine, I've got such a huge emotional attachment to this ring. Because it's not the monetary value. It's the meaning of it. It's the personal value of it. You know what I mean? That's the heavy part. It almost feels like I've lost a part of me. As sad as it sounds.
No, that doesn't sound sad. I understand that exactly.
I have cried like someone has died,
For the last couple of days. Knowing I'll never see my ring again. And the last 5 years hasn't been incredibly difficult, but I've said that's the one thing that's kind of like, I look at it and I go, at least we've had each other. And the rings, they symbolise the fact that we're here together.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they said during our vows that the ring symbolises unity and oneness with each other, like us as a married couple.
Yeah, but I think last year, at the beginning of last year, I would have had this happened. I would have been in the slumps about it for months. And it pains me, it really does, but at the back of my head I'm thinking, you've still got that business to run, you've still got to work hard, we've still got that house to try and get to, so don't dwell on the negative too much. Don't dwell on this feeling of, you might potentially buy another one, maybe the new one might symbolise new beginnings. Something great's about to happen. Maybe the streak of bad things happening will eventually maybe go with the ring, and then do you get what I'm trying to say?
So basically taking a different perspective on it.
Trying to take a different perspective onto life.
Don't get me wrong. But when we're able to move on, regardless of how quickly we can get it replaced and everything like that, it might be that our luck, turns around. You'd be like, oh, as strange as it seems.
Yeah.
And
that might not be the meaning at all, but I'm just trying to think of things in
different ways of thinking about it.
That's it. Try a different perspective and see how far I can get in life with that form of thinking, rather than being stuck in that same one way of thinking I've been doing for the last 5 years. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do at least this year. What do you think?
I think that's a really good thing for you, particularly. Just making sure that you try and think of a different way to see a situation, when it's happened. Not because you see it badly or anything, but I always feel guilty when I see you so sad. And obviously you're in that cycle of thinking negatively, and it's really hard to break you out of it for no other reason than you don't want to believe that it's going to be okay, because you're like stuck in it for so long. Because I can talk to you, I can say everything I can without just saying things for the sake of saying things, because I don't want to be disingenuous or anything like that. There's no point in that. I can do anything I can, and using your ring as an example, like I ran to the leisure centre as soon as I got back from work and sorted a few other things out. Looked in the changing room to try and find it. I pulled out the kind of the cot thing that was there, flipped that upside down, looked in the lockers. I was about to go in and jump in the pool and have a look in my coat still, but the cleaner was there, so I decided not to. But I was looking around the floor, I looked under the vending machines, like just outside, I looked under the stairs.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that you knew that I'd done everything that I could, so that you could start to come to terms with it and start to step away from thinking negatively about it.
Yeah, but do you know what? Things happen in life, and 2023, I'm not expecting it to be this miraculous, fantastic year, but I'm really working on trying to see things from a different point of view, and I will continue to work on it. Of course, being human, you result back to your normal way of thinking, and but as I maybe work more on thinking positively, as these things continue to happen and life just happens and these obstacles come, maybe I'll feel less down about it. Maybe by the end of the year I would have achieved more than expected, because I've gradually over time changed my way of thinking. And would that now be my constant way of thinking, this new positive perspective? But yes, guys, let us know what your mindset is going to, what you've set your mind to be for the year 2023. And
then not only that, but any good tips that you've got to try and break out of like low points or like ruts and points where you're like not feeling particularly motivated or anything like that. I think that's really important to get back on track with a normal mindset. Really, it doesn't need to be overly happy and cheery and like bouncing off the walls or anything like that. But just getting back out of whatever sadness or obstacle that you've had to overcome, just so you can continue to get on with the things that you need to. Because I know it's a little bit cheesy or cliche or something like that, but they say that to achieve what you want to achieve, or to obtain the thing that you want, and still at the beginning of the year people have goals and everything like that. It's about consistency, but it's being able to take that action regardless of how you feel. And that's the important bit. It's putting your emotions aside and continuing to do what you need to do. So regardless of whether you feel super sad or you're super happy, you continue to do what you've set out to do. Like if you said that I'm going to go to the gym 2-3 times a week, so I don't feel like going because this something happened today. You've not gone that day, and that could potentially throw your routine out the window.
Yeah, and with that being said, also it is very, very important to live in the moment, because I feel like our generation, we're really struggling to, I guess, in our sense, buy a house. That's one of our goals. And a lot of people would like to have their own property. But to get on the property ladder is so difficult. And a lot of us are working to also make ends meet. We can barely do that. And, we need to save. And the savings, you can't really save it because you're struggling to make ends meet, and it's just that vicious cycle of constantly working and constantly thinking, if I work harder I'll be able to buy that house, and once I'm able to buy that house, or once I'm able to achieve that specific thing, I will enjoy life a bit more. I can go here, I can do that, I will travel, I will eat this, I will do that, do you get what I mean? You kind of set, once I've achieved this, I will do this. I will relax more. I will do that. And that's of course, that's a good mindset to have. But I feel each year you kind of grow past that, what's the word? you might not achieve those goals, but then you've just popped your life on hold.
Well, I think
Live in the
I
moment.
think the important thing to do, especially with like really long-term things, is to make sure that you reward yourself along the way. That, you know, I mean, we want to save up for a house, and, you know, I'm sure other people, you know, everyone listening wants to as well, or, you know, they want to achieve a new job or pass
Just
their
go on
exams,
holiday.
or save up for a holiday or go travelling. But along the way, you need to split up the road into, you know, little milestones. So, for a house deposit, oh, you know, saving 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000.
And it might take you a year, or
It
you know,
might take you a year,
it
might
to
take you
save
more than that.
1,000.
But you need to celebrate the fact that I've managed to save 1,000 in my situation. I've managed to save 10,000 in, you know, with my situation,
Yeah.
my financial abilities, my other responsibilities I've got to do. You might not have reached the end of, you know, the road, and you might not have hit the goal yet, but you've made excellent progress to get there.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I want to go to the gym 2-3 times a week. Okay, you know, that one's a little bit more never ending. But I've gone to the gym 2-3 times a week for the last 3 months. That's pretty good. I've stuck to my diet. I've done revision every day for the past, 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I have passed this module. The next one's coming up, but this one's, you know, I've passed it. It was a really good pass, or, you know, I just scraped it, but a pass is a pass.
Yeah. Whatever you do, achieve the little goals. I mean, celebrate the little goals. Those little goals are wins, and I feel like we're constantly looking for the big win, you know, when we finally achieve that big win, whatever it is individually, we will finally do this, or I can finally go here, I'll finally relax, or, you know, once I hit this milestone, I will buy myself that shoe, treat yourself.
Just the one shoe.
Yeah, just the one shoe, maybe for one. But, you know,
Depending on how prices go.
well, treat yourself, something of that sort. You know, do celebrate life, and do ensure to live in the moment, and, you know, be in the moment of, like, at the moment, you know, we're not in our home we're not in our dream house that we would ideally want. We're still renting, and we're still figuring our way, you know, being parents, working full time, trying to be a small business owner, as well as trying to pass your exams, studying on the side for both of us. It's just so much. But one of our goals is to also make sure that we actually just maybe every now and then sit down, or go see a movie, or go visit places for like a day or two. Just, you know, have that time to switch off from all those life responsibilities.
Well, it's just making sure that life doesn't completely pass you by.
Yeah.
While you're trying to chase the things that you want. You know, I want to be successful, I want to have this, I want to have that, so I'm going to work hard for it, I'm going to put the time into this. But unfortunately, you know, you can only spend time doing one thing. Or you can only, you know, focus on a couple of things at a time, and you can't do everything all at once. And so it's got to come at the cost of not doing something. And it's just taking a few moments, you know, a few times a week, once a week, or, you know, one big thing. I don't know however you want to allocate that time, but making sure that you've got something that you can just enjoy, you know, just so you can feel like you're actually living life and not just working and grinding and, you know, really wearing yourself down. Because I think that's where a lot of people feel burnt out, especially trying to meet these big goals.
Yeah.
Not celebrating any of the small wins, not trying to live in the moment some of the time at the very least.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, we've not perfected these things, by the way. This is also us. We're just talking to ourselves. These are also things that we're telling ourselves to try and do, you know. it's hard at the moment, but life is also good at the same time. We're alive. That's a big deal. That's a pretty big deal. If you're listening to this, you probably have access to, I don't know, electricity. You have access to, these little things that we should be grateful for. As long as we have oxygen in our bodies, we should be grateful to be alive, and we should try and work each day to go get that dream, achieve it, and not be in our head so much. Because sometimes, when you're in a conversation with someone, or whenever you're having an interaction with somebody, I don't know about you, but I do this all the time. I tend to think, oh my god, everyone's focusing on me, everyone's focusing on, am I looking a bit funny? Everyone's thinking, oh god, she looks this way, or did she say that wrong?
Everyone does. Everyone does.
But we are often in our head criticising ourselves. But what I've been learning to do this year slowly, not just this year, what I've started doing 3 months ago, was just go, whenever I'm having that moment. So if I'm in a meeting and then someone makes an awkward joke and we'll go, oh, and then everyone's in their head thinking, oh my god, I should have did that. Did you see what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
I just say to myself, I pause for a minute and I go, no. If you're doing it, that means everyone else is doing it too. So why don't you take ownership of this moment? You then change the subject. You bring something in.
Well, I mean, I've got a similar but different mindset about that.
Mm.
Everybody's too busy thinking about themselves.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, everyone's the main character in their own story.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you've, said an awkward joke or whatever, like, fine. In that moment, they might, laugh or focus on it, but the moment will pass and they'll forget about it. Or, better yet, in some cases, you might have done something, but they're too busy wrapped up in their own heads about themselves that they're not even paying attention to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't even matter if you cared about it or not. It's completely gone over them. They've moved past it. So, I mean, that's my attitude towards it. It's a little bit more, I don't care, rather than like, you know what, I'm sure everyone's feeling the same. Yeah. It's not that bad.
But you know what though? I'm wondering, we're probably not the only ones feeling this. We're recognizing this thing that we're talking about. So guys, if you're working on yourselves and you are also kind of working on something similar to this or this exact same thing, do let us know. Life is hard. We always say this, but that's why you have to just try and, do you know what, fuck it. Fuck it. Just live life, okay? Tomorrow you might not be here. And you don't want to be thinking, what if I done this, I done that. Just do what you want. So long as you're being kind, and just remember to be nice to yourself. Compliment yourself each day. Again, something I'm trying to work on.
Are you complimenting yourself each day?
I'm trying to.
Are you? Well, I haven't heard you. Are you doing it in your head?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing it in my head. I've been doing it at work. So today was rather a busy, shitty day at work. But after certain interactions with, patients, I just go, do you know what? You did what you could. Or
oof, that famous compliment.
You did what you could. Or I'll say, the way you handled that question they asked was really good. Or the way you calmed down the anxiety was really good. Sometimes, I often meet mums that are worried and, they'll ask certain questions, and I'm quite good at bringing it down, because on a personal level, also being a mum, on a professional level, also being in my field of working with peds and things like that, so I just go, yeah, you did well, you handled that well. Or if it was an awful interaction and I didn't do anything but someone was an asshole to me, I just tell myself, some people are just shit people. Or sometimes I just plainly go, fuck them, in my head.
Oh, just shout it out loud, like,
fuck you. But in my head I just go, for fuck's sake, do you know what, it is what it is, let it go, baby, let it go. It's only 1 hour in the day. What about you?
what about what I do?
Yeah.
With what?
Yeah, everyone focuses on themselves.
Oh,
Thinking.
well, like I said before, I've just gotten to the point where I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what's going on and their perception of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm only worried about me and they're only worried about them.
Yeah.
Providing that I don't rock their boat too much, I don't think it's going to matter all that much. So if I talk to somebody and I'm, perfectly polite, perfectly kind in a normal way, why is anything I'm going to say, even if it's like slightly off, or, I say slightly the wrong thing, or, if I'm trying to explain something and they're not quite following, or, if I'm not doing it properly, it doesn't matter all that much at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm able to turn it around because I'm actually okay at my job. But I don't really mind, doing things that might seem a bit odd, because I don't care what they're going to think about it.
Right, I get that. So, guys, the moral of the story today is, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Just listen, live your life, be in the moment, take each day as it comes.
I wish we could name the episode Fuck It.
Maybe we should. We might name it Fuck
I don't
It.
think we're allowed to do that. I wish we could.
But with that being said, we hope today's chat was helpful to somebody.
So we hope you enjoy the rest of January.
Yes.
And that regardless of how you feel or any difficulties that you're facing, just know that you can overcome them. Sometimes it's about reframing how you're thinking about it. Sometimes it's just picking yourself up to continue on with the journey that you've set out for yourself. But don't let one day dictate the rest of your life or the rest of this year.
Or don't let 1 minute dictate the rest of your day, your entire 24 hours.
All that. So we hope you enjoy yourselves. We hope that you enjoyed listening.
Yes.
But more importantly,
show us the love.
More importantly, we hope that you show yourself kindness and happiness, and that you're able to put that out into the world, so that it can circle back round and come meet you again.
Yeah.
So we'll sign off for now, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Ciao, ciao.